Hey my friends, how are you this morning? Sorry I'm a day late with this reading. Yesterday was kind of crazy, but I'm happy to be with you now. Um, there is so much going on in my life and my reality. Um, I want to give you kind of a little glimpse without giving too much. Um, my breathing has become pretty challenging lately, and it's been affecting my sleep a lot. So to the point that it's like I want to protect you. So I don't want to say it, but at the same time, I want to let you know what my experience is like. Um, it seems like for the most part, in order to breathe, I need to be awake. So pretty much I'm awake most nights so that I can breathe, because as soon as I start to slip into sleep, uh, I notice that I'm not breathing and it pulls me out of that state. So very difficult circumstance and situation in that way. Um, Definitely grateful for any thoughts or prayers sent my way. Um, and there's that. So, getting into the topic for today, um, it's about lenses of perception. And I think it's definitely fitting given not only the challenges that I'm facing in my life right now, um, but really so much of my journey. It's a perspective that I've held, a lens of perception or perspective about how to view this journey. And it's a recognition of choice, that I can choose to view my circumstances from literally any angle. So I choose to use those lenses through which I see my reality. I choose the ones that are leaving things feeling light and clear rather than heavy and dark. So I'll get into the reading here. I hope you enjoy it. It would be convenient to believe that there is such a thing as an experience of reality that is equally shared by all, but that isn't the way that reality works. Each of us comes equipped with unique lenses of perception that are shaded by our genetics, upbringing, personality, and all of the past moments that have made us who we are. The entirety of our experience is filtered through these lenses of perception, including the five senses. The raw sensory data that the eye receives in the form of light, for example, is sent to the brain as data, which the mind then interprets. This visual data might indicate something furry with 4 legs and a tail nearby, and the mind determines that that thing in front of us is a dog. Anyone would have come to this same conclusion, but the mind doesn't stop at simply determining what something is. It quickly begins to analyze, categorize, and compare this experience to previous experiences. For one person, seeing that dog may evoke thoughts and emotions of excitement, while for another, memories of being bitten by a dog in early childhood may evoke fear instead. The two people are seeing the same dog, but their lenses of perception shade the experience in entirely different ways. The vast range of sensations that arise through each of our individual experiences is filtered through these lenses, and we begin to place values on what we are experiencing, ranging from good to bad, acceptable to unacceptable. What we perceive as reality then is so often not a direct sensory experience, but instead a mental interpretation of the sensations that we are experiencing and the situations that we find ourselves in. It's a lot like wearing sunglasses. Whether experience appears rosy or dark through the lenses, or whether it feels heavy or light, depends upon the contents of our thoughts and the nature of our inner commentary. When our inner voices are shading what we are perceiving in a negative way, perhaps through lenses like limitation, resistance, or lack, it is difficult to perceive all of the beauty that life has to offer. It's like we are walking around with smudged sunglasses that decrease the clarity and color of what we are experiencing, causing life to appear dull. We may have developed patterns that have caused us to see the world through the same lenses for much of our lives, but this doesn't mean that patterns of perception can't be changed. It is valuable to remember that there is no version of reality equally experienced by all, and there is no absolute truth to what we are experiencing. All experience is subjective, and our perception of events is merely one interpretation of reality. In remembering this, it is far easier to break identification with what we are experiencing through whatever lenses we happen to be wearing in the moment. Maybe it is time to toss spectacles that cause us to see limitation aside in the recognition of choice. Life is beautiful when the lenses through which we view it are clear. Thank you for listening. The way that this writing and this lesson applies to my own experience is that it allows me to step back and say, for example, I was diagnosed with ALS. I was dealt a bad hand. I'm totally screwed. I'm, all sorts of things on one hand that don't serve me. Or I was diagnosed with ALS and I'm going to use this challenge to grow. Or I'm going to use this challenge to learn and share that learning with others. Or, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to expand in my life personally and spiritually. So all of these are perceptions or lenses through which I have viewed my experience of living with ALS. And I've learned that in having the choice and in recognizing the choice and the ability to choose, I'm going to choose the ones that those lenses, those perceptions that feel the lightest and the clearest from moment to moment. And I've trained myself over the months and years to choose the lightest and clearest lenses as often as I'm able. And at first, those choices take conscious effort because you're overriding old patterns of perception that are limited. So at first it seems to take work. But as we continue to do this, and as we continue to create new patterns of perception, those become the new normal. Suddenly, we begin seeing life through lenses that are automatically light, and we no longer have a need to wear those lenses that cause life to feel like it's anything less than beautiful. I hope this topic was of interest to you. I can almost feel through this connection, I can feel your compassion and your love and a bit of sadness as well. And I just want you to know that I'm doing well in spite of all of this. I don't know what's going to happen next, but my spirit and my attitude is still good, and I kind of have this peace in that it is all good no matter which way things turn out. So that's important for me to let you know. All right, well, I love you very much, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.